Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the live show match. Adam, since you've got the chops,
Yes.
hit me up with the noise and click that button, sir.
Good.
Starting up here in the top right position, we have xSix's very own Mystik, and down bottom left, we have Roots' very own Puck.
Oh snap.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Puck was pretty much with us the whole time we were at MLG Anaheim, and he was playing some games in the hotel. ROOTPUck is pretty good, sir.
Yeah, no, they're both really good. I think Puck, there about 2 days ago, was rank 2 GM.
That's a high number.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good, and he's been recently put on the team Root. I think he was signed on the same time Fitzy was signed on, so both players had like an epic show match or something, and then Root couldn't pick who they wanted, so they just took them both, and for good reasons. I've played both players, and both of them are extremely good. But hey, you know, Mystik also very epic.
Also pretty damn good, sir. No question about that. He showed his skills against who Jason last time was a top 8 Masters player. Obviously not quite the same skill level, but certainly displayed what he's capable of in terms of his mechanics, epic creep spread, and great decision making. So I look forward to seeing these two guys as they are on a more level playing field. And PvZ is my favorite matchup. Now this is what's the name of this map again? This is
you can do it.
Hold on, give me a second.
You can do it.
Give me a second. I feel like it's Daybreak.
There you go, sir.
Ha ha! Yes.
Yeah.
Great success.
All right.
While I'm not a major fan of this map, I am a major fan of the matchup. So I'm kind of excited to see how this all pans out. And look at that, Mystik. That's unfortunate for Puck.
Yeah, I just caught that. He was trying to deny that hatch for as long as possible, but he was like 1 pixel away, and Mystik was able to drop that. Down bottom here for a ROOTPUck, he went Nexus first, which is very typical on a map like this, and especially that he knows that there's no aggression coming from the Zerg player. So he chucked down the Nexus, and now the Forge and the Gate on their way as well. Forge almost finished up, and it looks like he is going to be walling off here very shortly. And of course, Mystik knows all this. Now the question is Mystik going to go ahead and grab a very quick third, or is he going to try and apply a little bit of pressure? He is moving out on the map now with a few lings, but he's not going to do a whole lot with those. Probably just going to grab some towers, and yeah, there he goes. He's running over to his tower. So very typical stuff here for both players, and Puck now working his way down to the third.
Just so making sure.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
oh no!
Again, sour about that.
Oh.
But at least the information is told to Puck, and he can kind of decide what he wants to do. Does he want to go ahead and 2-base, or does he want to go ahead and grab a quick third himself? And I know Puck likes to grab quick thirds, so chances are we are definitely going to be seeing a late macro game.
Yeah, I'll be damned. Puck just not have any luck with the with how close those probes have been to blocking the hatchery. There's absolutely no luck on that, but at least, like you said, he did see the third went down, so now he knows he's got lots of time. And really, the ball is in Puck's court, like you said, and we have seen him definitely take those early thirds, but who knows? Maybe he'll mix it up here and actually just go 2-base and push it if he's afraid of the Zerg late game. Because let's be honest, the Zerg late game is kind of OP right now, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get the LAGTV fans all riled up.
Not OP, but you have to play the game damn good at a late level as Protoss to beat late game Zerg. Like that mothership play has to be damn near perfect.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's like late game PvZ is good for Protoss, but it's like just before late game, so it's like there's literally this like 2-window opening where Protoss is pretty imba against Zerg. But then once Zerg gets over that threshold, those spine crawlers go down and those GG Lords are out. It is seriously, Zerg is in my book imba, and it's a coin flip, like Adam said. It's, are you going to get a vortex off or not?
Suddenly the Titanic is going down. Celine Dion is singing your swan song as you just wait for the approaching GG Lords to come and kill you. Looks like right now we're going to see a couple of Zerglings just making their way across the front here, maybe just going to see if they can poke in and get any information. They're not going to get anything. That Stalker is going to come out by Puck and pretty much get rid of that. He is sending in Mystik, also his Overlord to see if he can see anything within the main. Unfortunately, most of the tech is happening outside of his main, down at the natural, so he's going to have to make his way down there before he gets any other useful information. And it looks like, due to not having to build up all those queens, the creep spread is a little bit on the slower side right now for Mystik, and I'm surprised he hasn't connected all of his bases as of yet, but he doesn't need to be too concerned because, well, it's going to be another 5 minutes plus before we see any major action, so...
Yeah, so we take a look over here. Puck is getting that that third by the 8-minute mark, so it's a very good, nicely timed, fairly early third. I usually drop my thirds around 12 minutes, but you know, 8 minutes.
Well, that's for 12. You know, 12 minutes is for pro players only. So.
Well, I mean, Puck is just this type of player where
he likes it early.
He literally really defends and really stands by having 3 base against Zerg.
Yeah.
2 base all inning Zerg is really, once again, it's a coin flip. Are you going to get those force fields down and whatnot? But we take a look over here at the third. Puck is dropping down his extra gates now. He is going to be going that heavy sentry build, so he's going to be using sentries to force off that natural ramp to make sure that nothing comes in and tries to do a run by into his natural or into his main. He is completely walled off here. One cannon is up, and there's a decent, very nice force field there from Puck. Going to be able to pick up all of those Zerglings. Still no metabolic boost yet for Mystik, and things are looking really, really good here for Puck. 57 probes to 62 drones. He's keeping up. Mystik, on the other hand, though, he is chucking down a 4th, and he's saying, all right, you want to play the macro game? Sure, I'm going to play it with you. The macro hatch is down in his main. The Roach Warren finally has gone down a little bit late there on the Roach Warren, but he has been macroing pretty hard, and he knows from the build that Puck is doing that there is going to be no serious pressure. So he had no urgency to really drop down that Roach Warren quickly, and really not a whole lot happening from both players, just a lot of macro, a lot of sentries out on the field there for Puck.
It's an absolute macro fest right now, and basically up to this point been nothing but workers produced by both guys. You can see the food counts at this point in the game. Just had a small spike there as there were a couple of engagements and Puck moving out to take map control, but before that we had very low food counts and nothing major being produced by either player. Now, though, we are going to get closer and closer to seeing that first round of units being pushed out. We have Blink.
Too. We have Spire finishing up.
Yep, the Spire is going to be going down, and of course we all know what that's eventually going to be turning into as we move later and later into the game. And by the looks of it, Puck is already going to be ready for it because Blink is on the way, and he's going to be prepared for the worst as he also gets a Dark Shrine.
Yeah, no, the Dark Shrine is going to be great for run-bys and or going to be able to get those Archons when he sees that the Mutas are going to be out on the field. Here comes the Warp Prism play. He needs to watch it. The Lings are going to get us around on these units, and unfortunately, he's going to lose a lot right there. And over here at the third of Mystik, we do have quite a few sentries, so there's going to be lots of force fields, Guardian Shields if need be, but obviously doesn't need them against those Lings. And there's a couple of decent force fields keeping him at bay.
Yeah!
That some Lings able to get in. The Mutas are there as well. The drones are trying to get inside, and it is looking fairly good here for Mystik. He is going to be able to clean this up. This is just way too much Zerg, and unfortunately, he is going to lose quite a bit. Picking up those Stalkers, and those Mutas are going to be able to pick off that War Prism, and that was a beautiful engagement for Mystik, and now the ball is in Mystik hands. Is he going to go ahead and apply pressure and try and really punish this, maybe get rid of an expand or take this game, or is he going to back off and continue to macro heavy and really expand his lead?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was about pretty much as good as that could have gone there for Mystik. The force field is just with gaps in them in a couple places, allowing the Zerglings to move in and get rid of the Stalker count before the Mutas moved in and allowed them to clean up the rest of it. Now, Mystik doesn't want to overextend himself here. He needs to be kind of careful. He does have a lot of gateways in and around here for Puck that he's going to be able to warp in Stalkers to help deal with this Mutaflock, and more do come in, and the Ling's very nice Blink back in behind the wall there for Puck. Going to be able to hold most of this off, I feel, with just a little bit of micro play, and Mystik will have to go home, and we're going to set up for round 2 just a little bit later.
Yeah, unfortunately, those Lings are dealing damage to the probe line. Not really doing a whole lot, actually.
No, he paused up there in the top, and he managed to. Yeah, he did lose some, though.
Yeah, no, he didn't lose a whole lot. He did a nice hold position there, and those cannons were backing him up. Muta's inside the main of Puck, dealing a little bit of damage. He just really being a pest and dealing just little bits of damage here or there and just keeping Puck on his feet, not really allowing Puck to really kind of gain his composure back from that epic loss down there over at the third of Mystik, and that's exactly what Mystik needs to do. He is grabbing a fifth now. He's macroing heavy. We're going to take a look at the drones, 74 to 67, so you know Puck is still doing reasonably well.
It's that third base.
Yeah, and it's right now, unless Puck can pull something out of his ass and do some really good warp prism drops, it's not looking good.
No, it's not looking good at this point. The muta count has gotten very, very, very high right now, and he's got more mutas on the way. Puck's going to have to be everywhere at once right now with these Blink Stalkers. He definitely needs to continue those upgrades. +2 is just about to finish in a couple of seconds. He's going to have to replace those pylons, and you can see just what Mystik has in mind. He's going to basically expand all over the map while taking control with these Mutalisk, and he's been able to successfully do that as Puck is just not able to be in 4 or 5 places at once. We haven't seen any Templar on the field yet, but he does have the Archive just have gone down. There's about 20 seconds or so left on that build, and he's not going to have anything to really help deal with this for quite some time. He's going to need to hold this engagement before his Templars are going to be able to help him at all.
Yeah, mutas are just, once again, poking around, and you know, all Mystik's doing right now is he's having map control. He's picking shit off. He got rid of a Dark Temp down there. He's got his Spore Crawlers at his expands. He's making all the right steps. He's now poking over here at the third again, and the main thing is Puck is still on 3 base. So at this point, really, Puck is going to have to get a massive army and push out. He is getting high temps. He is going to be sitting some high temps at his main and whatnot to be able to defend, and he needs to get into a position where he scares Mystik off, where Mystik goes, okay, you know what, it's not worth it anymore to keep harassing with these mutas, and then Puck needs to somehow push out there, and essentially he might even have to go all in. He may have to put all of his chips in the pot and just go for it. He is doing a phenomenal job at blanking around, and these mutas aren't really doing any more damage, but it's not the damage that Mystik is trying to do here. It's preventing him from going out and doing anything while he just takes this map. The creep spread's starting to look insane. The spine crawlers are going down. We do have a hive on the way. Infestation Pit is down. Upgrades are going. We are probably going to see GG Lords here very, very soon, unless he opts to go in and get Ultralisk. But at this point in the game, I really think GG Lords is going to be the route in which he's going to go. So all things are just looking phenomenal for Mystik. He's playing flawlessly right now.
Yeah, Puck only has right now 5 Templar on the field. I think maybe only 3 of them have the energy to go right now, and he's actually going to push out with all of his units and try and get rid of as many of these as possible, and it's huge risk, but he needs to take risks right now as he is down so heavily in economy. He does have a lot of minerals. He is gas tied right now. His hands are tied behind his back. He's unable to do anything too major with the unit composition. He's kind of basically locked into only producing very few Templar because of his gas, and right now the Mutalisk are just going around and doing every little bit of damage possible. Puck now coming back to try and deter that, but we're going to see a split attack as more Zerglings are moving over to go into the third, and his attention is going to be in about 1,000 places at once here very shortly, sir.
Yeah, and I like this. Puck is doing a really good job over here at the third. That Nexus did not fall. Mystik was trying to focus fire on that, but it just didn't work out. And take a look. Puck finally regaining somewhat of composure, grabbing that third. But as I'm saying that, those mutas are going to take down the Nexus in the main. He is going to blink up here, and that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt quite a bit. And now Puck is forced to rebuild that Nexus at his main, and look at this. There's another Ling run by at the fourth and unable to cancel, and this is looking all the way bad news bears for Puck. And he just needs to push. He needs to do something. Ooh,
well, what's happening right now, though, I want to point out is while Mystik is doing a lot of great stuff right now, splitting the attention and everything, the probe count is actually not that low for Puck. He definitely has it. He just needs to get his bases up. The food count is actually not that crazy either. It's just a matter of hitting some really good storms for Puck right now. I feel like he's actually making his way back into the game. That Nexus at the main wasn't a huge loss. He did lose out on maybe about, I'm going to say maybe about 600 minerals. The chrono boost on that Nexus is the big problem for him right now as he tries to keep up with the production of Mystik, and he is going to get this out, and he's going to be able to defend this pretty well too, as the Mutals look like they're going to try and move in, and this is actually a great time as all the units are way far from home.
Oh, here comes the mutas again at the main, and unfortunately for Puck, he just doesn't have the information that he needs, because believe it or not, right now, Puck isn't in the worst shape. He's made quite a bit of a comeback, And right now, Mystik is very, very vulnerable. He's tech switching into GG Lords. The Greater Spire is now finished, and I think if Puck had the information, he'd be going to counter. He'd be going to hit a 4th or a 5th or something like that. But Mystik is just doing a phenomenal job at keeping Puck at his base while he techs into those GG Lords. And once they come out on the field, it's not going to be good. Puck has so many Zealots right now, and he's not going to be able to handle the Broodlords. He doesn't have a Mothership. He doesn't even have...
Whoa, Puck!
He doesn't really have a whole lot right now. He just needs to go and attack, or it's going to be game over. And it looks like Puck is finally saying, you know what, screw this. I understand what he's doing, and I need to go out there now.
Yeah, I know, and he really does, and this is about the best time he can do it, because the Mutalisk health is incredibly low. He has a couple of High Templars left on the field, and he's going to be able to probably get rid of this base, actually, if he's very careful about it. But there's a lot of Spine Crawlers, and he's going to take a big loss in doing so. He might have to attack from a different location. The GG Lords are there also actually now, so he is going to move away, and wisely so. This is going to be the next I'm going to say the next engagement is probably going to determine the outcome of this game. Both gentlemen are very close to maxed out right now. The GG Lords are out, and so it's going to come down to some very, very good micro to determine who's going to, at the very least, take massive control of this game.
Well, you know, at this point, I think Mystik already has that massive control. Unfortunately for Puck, he doesn't have Giraffes. He doesn't have a Mothership. Sure, he's got a 200 army, but this 200 army versus Broodlords is just too much. And the Mutas are in here picking off more tech. The Dark Shrine goes down. And most importantly, all Mystik is doing at this point is freeing up supply. He's saying, you know what, if you kill these Mutas, who gives a shit? If you kill my Lings, who gives a shit? It's just going to allow me to max more on Broodlords. And that is a lot of Spine Crawler Infester. Puck is really, really going to have to pull some serious micro to get back into this game. I don't know. I hope Puck can surprise the hell out of me. This is going to be tough.
Oh, a couple of decent storms going down there, doing quite a bit of damage to those Broodlords, getting them weak. If he blinks into them right now, he could actually get rid of a lot of them. There they are. There they are. The storm's going down, and he's going to actually take possibly another base here as his minerals go back up at home. The income is actually almost dead even for these gentlemen right now. Very little difference. Basically, he is crippled. Mystik right now, getting rid of the most important 5th base as 2 Infestors unfortunately go down to meet their doom. He's going to be able to pick this off, go home, and it's kind of a reset right now, sir.
Yeah, these Mutalisks are still doing damage. The Cybernex core does fall. It does look bad here for Mystik, but he's still
doing damage with those Mutas, man.
He still has quite a bit, and those Mutas are doing quite a bit of damage. But you know what? I am surprised. He did very well there. There was 2 sexy blinks and 3 amazing storms that really caught those GG Lords off guard, and he was able to pick off quite a bit. And now these Void Rays are dealing damage, but on the flip side, these Mutas are still racking in kills, killing off a lot of tech. Mystik is trying to expand frantically all over the map. More Zealot run-bys, a couple of Stalkers over here trying to pick off another expand of Mystik. He is going to be able to hold off this attack here by the Void Rays, but still, things are looking pretty good for Mystik.
No, absolutely.
But you know what? Puck did phenomenally for what he had there.
Absolutely, he did.
Good game. Good game.
You know, those Mutalisks are basically the tide turner and have been the whole game. They've kept Puck on his back foot. And they've allowed Mystik to basically come back from situations that he probably wouldn't have otherwise. These Mutas are going to be the reason why he possibly takes this game if he plays his cards right. You know, those Void Rays, I want to say, put in a lot of work. They had 10 to 12 kills apiece, and they were getting rid of very, very, very expensive GG Lords down there, making some extra work for Mystik as ROOTPUck tries to get himself back into this game. You know, the Cyber Core going down is probably the worst thing that could have happened to Puck there. Otherwise, these Mutas would have done absolutely nothing to him. However, as far as income goes, even though he's only on the 1 base, Puck is not incredibly far back, but he definitely has a massive hill to climb still if he is going to take this game.
Yeah, no, that hill is extremely steep.
We're talking vertical.
Yeah, he's dealing with a bunch of Mutas. They are picking off. Ooh, very nice blinks there from Puck. These Mutas are very, very troublesome for him. If these Mutas had died, Puck would have been in a very hell of a lot better position. But unfortunately, take a look at all the hatches that Mystik has.
Oh, yeah, it's endless.
And we only have one mining base here from Puck. I don't see it. I mean, he's going to have to pull something so far
Look
out
at
of his
the
ass.
income tab, though, and he's not able to actually produce on all those hatcheries right now. He just can't keep up with that. He's got tons, but he's not really, if you look at production, he's not really focusing on drones at all. And if you look at the units right now, they're actually almost exactly neck and neck in workers. It's really just, it's a matter of production, but he can't produce on all those hatcheries. So if a couple of hatcheries go down for Mystik, that could be some trouble. He does have the GG Lords and a lot of mutas though, and so it's going to be a really hard unit composition for Puck to deal with what he has to work with right now.
Yeah, well, I think at this point in the game, Mystik is playing it right. He's now kind of camping out over this way at this expand at the sort of top middle position, and he's just trying to solidify this expand, trying to get some economy going again. And hopefully he's going to keep poking with these mutas and just keep applying pressure. Puck is now on 2 mining bases again, so things are starting to look up once again here for Puck. Templar Archive just dropped, so he's going to be able to produce more Templars. And we all know, man, he had some sick-ass storm control there early on. So if he can catch Mystik off guard, I mean, you know, Mystik shouldn't have lost as much as he did at that attack. I mean, you know, Puck really went in there in an awesome angle, but I mean, I feel like...
Oh, look at the little attack happening down here in the bottom right.
What happened? Oh, wow. Yeah,
no,
I didn't see
he's getting rid of some drones right now with these stalkers.
Yeah, no, very, very nicely done, but these Lings are going to be able to clean that up. There is one Infestor, 2 Infestors now, so Infestors are now back out on the field, and it's... Like Adam said earlier, it's a bit of a reset again. We are going to see sort of the same scenarios we've seen before. Question is Puck going to be able to do that ridiculous engagement again to sort of stay in this game? The only open mineral patch is down bottom middle, and Mystik has got everything else on this map. And unfortunately, Puck has mined out 2 of his 4 bases, so... She's, like we said before, it's going to be an uphill climb.
It's a very uphill climb, and I'm still going to stand by the fact that even at this point in the game, the mutas will be the definitive game changer. It will allow him, even if he doesn't have to engage full on, you can see he's building up his Zergling and his Broodlord count. It will allow him to split up Puck's attention to the point where Puck's going to have to make a decision if he's just going to go for the main army and then push out and really overextend himself, or try... and get work done on both ends. And here we go. Actually, here's the mutas now.
Yep. No, that's close. That's very close. The muta's back off. He feels like he doesn't have enough yet, and he is going to run over with the Lings. This is going to be very, very clutch here. He needs to make sure that these... Oh, no. Awesome, with those little Broodlings, being able to pick off all those Zealots, and now he's going to back off. That one Archon wants to do some serious...
That one Archon just wants all those Zerglings.
Yeah, he's like, come at me, bro.
Come on.
Bro. So, unfortunately, he lost quite a bit of Zealots there, but on the flip side, he got rid of that expand. Decent blink, and once again, Mystik is going to have to fall back. And you know what? That was a win. That was a win for Puck. He lost some Zealots there, but at this point in the game, you know, how good are Zealots? He's going to be dealing with basically all air. So, you know, those Zealots did their job.
Yeah, they did their job, and you know what? The Stalker count is rising now. We are up to 30... Stalkers. The big deal again, though, the mutas are at 21 and 17 Broodlords. I don't think I've seen Mystik build any drones. I think he's comfortable with the drone count that he has right now. I don't know if that's good or bad for him, but it's going to come down to probably how well he does with these mutas. If these muta numbers are thinned out, then he's got some trouble, because Puck is damn good with his storms and damn good with his blinks, as we've seen. You know, he's doing the proper thing here and getting rid of Warp Gate. 4 of them with those pylon kills, but he's also going to lose quite a few of those mutas. And man, I don't even know what to talk about at this point, because both of these guys are just killing it.
Yeah, no, they're both doing reasonably well. Or very well, I should say.
Reasonably, we're not casting silver. They're doing really well.
Oh, nice blink there from Puck. Going to be able to pick off at least 6 or 7 mutas.
Oh, but look what's coming.
Clutch. And in the flip side, look at this. He's got all the Stalkers baiting them at the main. And look at
the amount of Templar.
That is a lot of Templar, but are they going to be able to get close enough with these Broodlings just punishing them from afar?
Here we go.
Oh,
yes.
Puck, but some nut.
Oh, my goodness.
Some more storms. It's going to be extremely close.
Wow.
Another very nice blink. A decent storm, but it's just not going to be enough,
No.
man. There's just too many Broodlords, and I didn't know which way that was going to go for a quick second. But once those fungal growths went down, that was it. GG. What an amazing game.
Damn.
Game one.
Damn,
Game
dude.
one.
That was game one.
Yeah,
That
those
was-
infestors really helped out there in that last engagement.
That was huge there. You saw the fungals go down, and the spread on the GG Lords were actually very vital there as well. You saw quite a pack of them spread out to the back left of that engagement, which kept them out of the range of those storms. They just wasn't able to get a storm down there. But I'll be damned if that wasn't an epic game by both gentlemen, and so that is game one.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.